Episode 7, The Others, originally posted on August 5, 2012. While Transformers, G.I. Joe, and He-Man pretty much ruled my toy shelf, they definitely weren't the only ones on it. There were others. Some of these other toys were pretty obscure and didn't have rich backstories behind them like my big three had. Translation, they didn't have an accompanying kick-ass cartoon. Others, although cool, were rather simplistic and were eventually overshadowed by more complex and exciting toys. And then there were some, well, I had to give up on due to being persecuted by my friends for liking them. Anyway, regardless of the fact that many of these other toys failed to make a lasting impression on me, they were all at one point a source of joy. And for that reason alone, I'd like to give them some recognition. There will be quite a lot, so I originally covered everything in 3 separate posts. So anyway, let's get started. First up, Lego. Nowadays, Lego is a totally different animal from when I was a kid. Things were more simple back then. There were no Lego Star Wars, Batman, or Ninjas. There were no blind bag minifigures or Lego-themed video games either. My Legoland was simple. We had space, city, and medieval, and that was it. And aside from the trees and the ship hulls, nothing was pre-made. We had to build everything. I always go back to the horses to drive my point across. Today's Lego horses look so nice and well, they look like horses. Because they're all basically like action figures in themselves, with simple articulation to boot. Back in my day, we used to build our horses from scratch. They weren't the prettiest looking horses, but in my eyes, they were pretty cool. Anyway, Lego was probably the first toy my dad bought a lot of for me when I was a kid. I guess it was the whole creative aspect of the toy that attracted him to it. After almost every business trip, my dad would come home with a new set or 2 of Lego. But regardless of what type of Lego he bought, the life cycle of each set was always the same. First, I'd get the set, build it according to the instructions, marvel at my creation, maybe play with it for a week or so, but almost inevitably, that set would eventually get deconstructed and all the pieces would be dumped into this huge drawer in my room. And when I say huge, I mean a 2-meter wide, 1-meter deep, and almost a foot high drawer. Imagine one of those filled to the brim with Lego bricks, bits, and pieces. I guess the reason why the sets wouldn't stay assembled long was because eventually I'd get bored with them. They just didn't properly capture my imagination, and I yearned to build bigger things that couldn't be put down in an instruction sheet. I didn't want to just have Lego cars, planes, and boats. I wanted Lego battle cars that had guns and planes that could vault in together to form flying battle fortresses. I wanted monsters, dinosaurs, robots, hell, robot monsters and dinosaurs. I had all these ideas in my head, and the only way I could make them real was through my Lego bricks. And when I was trying to build something specific, I was driven. From outside my room, you could tell I was playing with my Legos because you could hear the crashing and swooshing of endless Lego bricks as I swept arms deep into my Lego drawer, tirelessly looking for that one perfect piece to complete my creation. Good times. As I said in the beginning, today Lego is a totally different animal. I honestly think that today's Lego doesn't encourage the imagination as it used to. Today's Lego is so specific with so many pre-made parts that it would seem like a waste to build anything other than what is illustrated in the instructions. Don't get me wrong, I'm not hating on today's Lego. I think they're amazing for what they are. They just aren't my Lego, which is why I never got back into them when nostalgia drove me to start collecting toys again. Which in the end is probably a good thing, because Legos nowadays are so damn expensive. I'm pretty sure I'd be flat broke. Although, those minifigures look pretty good. Thanks for checking out Stories from the Toy Shelf Redux. For more stories, please like and subscribe to this channel. Click on the notification bell for updates or visit my website at storiesfromthetoyshelf.com and follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Until the next one.